some students, especially at an intermediate level in the kind of 6 to 7 range, will often find when they study English, they improved quickly at first, but then their improvement slows down. What's the reason for this? And is there anything we can do about it?
Most learners improve quickly at the beginning because they're picking up these high frequency words and basic grammar. And that creates a steep progress curve. You can suddenly understand menus, introductions, conversations around you. But then many people hit what we call a plateau. But in reality, progress hasn't stopped. It's just become less visible. And I'll explain what happens here. At higher levels, improvement shifts from quantity to quality. That's essential to remember. You might be learning fewer brand new words because you're focusing instead on how to use language more precisely, how to avoid mistakes, how to consolidate what you already know. And these gains are harder to notice, but they're absolutely crucial for IELTS, especially if you want a higher band. So remember that progress isn't a straight line. It looks more like quick growth at the beginning, then maybe a flat-looking phase where the brain is consolidating, and then another jump. And the key message is that plateau usually means you're consolidating, you're strengthening what you already know, not that you've stopped improving. So don't lose hope.
Another reason for this plateau is, and this isn't always so true in IELTS, but for general English students, is that once they have the tools and the language they need to communicate on a basic level and understand texts and listening on a basic level, they stop trying. And I've experienced this with IELTS students because people often feel, I can understand movies in English. I can express the basic ideas that I want to say, so I speak English. And that's true. And you will probably get a 5 in IELTS, which for some people is good enough. It shows you have a B1 level, you can communicate. However, if you're looking for those higher scores, you need to be able to demonstrate a greater fluency in speaking, more accuracy with your writing. You need to be able to infer meaning and read texts and listen to things in more detail. And so that's where that study and practice can take time because you're on that plateau and you just need to keep working at it.
Experts say the intermediate plateau is the hardest to get over because that's where mistakes become, they say, fossilized.
Absolutely.
So you keep making the same mistake again and again and again. And like you said, you need that motivation to correct it and then not make it again. But it does depend on what band you want, what your interests are. If you just want to communicate in English transactionally, for instance, you need limited English, so no more than that. But if you want a high band, especially in speaking, then you need to make that effort and focus on your mistakes and whatever can get you higher than the place where you already are.
And being open to feedback and correction, which I think most students are. And if you're using the platform, we've got feedback on the reading and listening mock tests, which you can do every time you do a mock test. And we've also got our speaking and writing AI feedback, which can give you those little suggestions of these are the things which are holding you back from getting that higher score. So if you don't know where to put your energy, we can give you suggestions for that.
Nice. A more old-fashioned method would be to write your mistakes on Post-it notes, and then you put them on your mirror so you look at them in the corrected version. That's a nice visual reminder that follows you everywhere. And it has helped some people, but it's all, again, about the intentionality behind it all.
Absolutely.